less than 2 weeks before the sickening assassination of David Amess. I'd made a film saying that it was only a matter of time before a Tory MP was murdered. Now, as it happens, this appears to be an Islamist killing rather than a purely political one. But there's long been a sordid alliance between fundamental Islam and the radical left, with both united by a hatred of Israel and a twisted anti-Semitism. Time will shed more light on this issue, but the immediate reaction to it was very revealing. Now look, it's never been my position that the right hold any sort of moral high ground over the left, because such binary and simplistic generalisations are unhelpful. There are clearly plenty of stupid and unpleasant people on the right, and intelligent and compassionate folk on the left, and indeed, scores of people on the left spoke up to condemn this killing and to offer heartfelt sympathy. Even if a disturbingly large proportion of them felt they should justify their comments by saying things like, "No one should ever take the life of a political rival, even if they are a Tory." Nice. The leftist QC, Jessica Seymour, even decided it would be a good idea to rub in how vile the Tories are during the minute's silence held in David's memory. And a rash of her followers piled in with yet more hatred and abuse. But worse was to follow. And it might have been the nastiest thing the British left have done, since The Guardian gloated about the death of David Cameron's disabled 6-year-old son, because his was just a privileged pain. Yeah, that actually happened. On this occasion, there was the always predictable, but still shocking deluge of hate, gloating and celebration that poured from leftist accounts. And much as I don't like to generalise, behaviour of this sort really is a one-way street. Were there any similar comments when Joe Cox was killed? Probably. But there weren't tens of thousands like there were here. On one thread on Bywire News, a leftist propaganda outlet that continually whips up hatred of the Tories, 80% of the comments celebrated, cheered, or dismissed Amess's murder as good riddance, even if the site tried to hurriedly delete exactly the sort of hateful rhetoric it had always cultivated. It all, of course, focused on the fact that the vile, hateful Tories deserve everything that comes their way, which kind of ignores the fact that Amess was an unfailingly kind and decent man, one who was liked and admired on both sides of the house, one who may have a different approach to those on the left, but one who's still concerned with trying to help people, to use his position to elicit productive change. But this sort of idea is too alarming for the radicals to contemplate. They'd rather stay mired in the sort of simplistic prejudice that gives their lives meaning. A cartoonish worldview in which Tories are the manifestation of Republic serial villains. Evil, moustache-twirling, top-hat-wearing demons who cackle maniacally, while deliberately fleecing and killing the poor and disabled, all to the ends of enriching themselves and their grasping, heartless friends. It's the sort of simplistic caricature of villainy that we'd dismiss as banal if presented in fiction. Yet millions of people who regard themselves as decent and intelligent accept it as unequivocal fact. And they angrily denounce anyone who raises objections. As such, they celebrate when a decent family man is butchered in broad daylight in front of horrified spectators, or they refuse to condemn those who have fanned the flames of this sort of behaviour, Or they just play the whataboutery game, all while failing to confront the real issue, which is their own all-consuming bigotry and incipient hatred. I've written frequently on how the left have committed 50 genocides in the space of a single lifetime. And if you want to know why that's happened, this is why it's happened. This spittle-flecked loathing that is without limits. And this is also why it will happen again. Because those who refuse to accept any failings in their behaviour, or who refuse to admit to mistakes, will keep on repeating them. If you've enjoyed this film, please like and subscribe. And if you're interested in these topics, I've written 2 books which go into them in extensive detail. They're called The Tyranny of the Left, and they're available on the links below. Please feel free to pick them up and let me know what you think. Thank you.